bro. Yeah. Iron. Sheep. Moorish Master MC. Hey yo. What up, what up? You already know. Audio mechanics, what up? Yo, no need for a watch. I read the time in the signs like prophets and seers. Put a hex on the beers. Put some wicker on Leopold and Mussolini offspring. To the ancestors, spill their blood as my offering. Oshuno Lacunia, may I show me reflections in water like balls of crystal. Wars with penis missiles. Sun gaze and sea gods peeping from behind. I'm learning to love instead of hate and be kind, cause yes, I know. I'm thinking it's time for the wake up. Good morning as I'm yawning. Check my phone, it's only 2 a.m. Thoughts bubble like a cauldron. Feeling the tonin drip from my pineal gland. Activating my mitochondrial DNA strands. Stimulating my chakras like a camera captures. I did foresee the rapture, stones falling in Turkey like rain from the sky. My farmer shoveling thousands of bees that died from radioactive waves from cell phone towers. As niggas babble and debate falsehood for hours. No PhD, but they call themselves doctors. We living in the time of false prophets. When we hear them speak, got the feeling awkward. It's like they speak a language I don't understand or talk with. Their tongues fork like utensils, and they stay playing with your mental. Cause
I know what time it is.
I want back off their way like new jewelers. Jewelers are carpenters and carvers, varnish finish. So you know the shine won't diminish. While rappers spending G's on gold that could be for fools. My chest glisten like the sun off pools from my jewels. Argon energy, pendant protection jewels. Enhance my life with spiritual tools. Opening chakras with crystals wrapped in copper. Using the force of quartz, put brakes on a copper. Microcrystalline jade, metamorphic rock pieces. Put a shame to diamond crusted Jesus headpieces. Obsidian and opal, leopard skin, jasper on a string. Tiger eye, green tourmaline ring. It looks like the star's essence when I bling. Change negative to positive like colors on the mood ring. No gold, a whole black beads, no ice. I'm looking like Africa, Bam, X-Clan, and Just Ice. Vibrant varnish pendant, Moorish mug chest filled with crystal stones. Merlin treasure chest, clearing my aura as I come before you. Rappers see me with no ice and think I'm a pauper. Rob a rapper of his Gucci Lincoln pendant self-portrait. Pawn souls to the devil cause they made themselves corporate. New jewelry gets attention like Passanet's hornet. Keep new jewelry as wood, no matter what you call it. As I jump off my mind's cliff into subconscious depths, knowing my higher and knowing my lower self, falling past my thoughts that got me in trouble, realizing ego is a burstable bubble, falling backwards seems like there's no end or bottom, cut out the good, I see no thoughts rotten, no modern European's mentality, all Asiatic, the scent of this fall, aromatic. Tea tree oil and frankincense so intense. Demons beaten from outside make no indents. Plus no entrance without the mastermind key. Thoughts of Allah wasn't a lie, but actually me, divine being, a national, actual, factual, more a scientist, seeing things mathematical. Law is length, angle, and width. With man strength, mangle a sith. When devil's horns burning, sulfur a whiff. Lower self, third eyes crushed, that's the weed in my split. From these lows, the only way to uplift. 40 days and 40 nights working the graveyard shift. Battling zombies, which are my own that exist. Playing my emotions as string strum or Congo drums. Seeing things and hearing sounds, no fear around. Looking down, not seeing the ground, but feeling my crown. Pulsating so profound, soul unbound. Inhale for 7, hold for 4. Exhale for 7, hold for 4. Double door 11, walk through the gateway frame of eternal flames. No burns, no regard, unreal as unreal, no blame. My pure freedom and bliss, demigods trying to contain. On my journey of learning fear, embracing pain. Since love heals on the path of living cognizance, patience is a virtue. I'd rather take the long distance. Aware mental clearness, mind's tailless with fierceness. Harlot seduced to get me locks and beardless. Electromagnetic helix, induce the voltage. Begging ancestors to increase the dosage. Produce a strong field, rubbing together shaman stone balls, releasing the stress. Calling Orishas, decreasing my breath. But are you really breathing? Knowing or believing? I master fruition and receiving from birthright retrieving. Are you in trance without doing a ritual dance? Paralysis, magic, reversal on the square stance. Harmonic lyrical mudra from Islam Sutra. Elevate thoughts, wake up your inner Sibyls and Buddhas. Master your will, not desires. Awaken Kundalini fires. True spoken to MCs higher. Medusa, you liars. Bagging heads and horns and tails for our mystic functions. Ritualistic, perched at the junction where demons go to and fro, dressed as the sheeple, selling them rights, civil and pseudo rights equal. Blood flowing past a horse brow didn't circle your passion. Celestial thread of my ancestors, tailored my fashions. Fooling people with their words and people not watching their actions. Ignorance of law is no excuse when something happens. Feeling eyes and reading postures, moving bionic. Monsanto seeds turn you psychopharmaceutical chronic. Got their eyes bloody, blood muddy for blood money. They gave me nothing, so can't take nothing from me. I love the quote, you will respect but don't have to love me. They gave me nothing, so can't take nothing from me.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law make civil little a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. Or keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mix it with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Sorbet, rapping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no Ali in plain sight, but people still can't see it. So the snake still showing up, stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common sense, quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law make civil little a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Saute, rapping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it. So the snake still showing up, stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis, astroplane interests, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life, finishing.
Moorish or Moor, key man or oracle. Using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical. Lost and metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic. Fact slap a dirty Moor or a Drew Ali critic. Calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved. Or cut like a close shave. Drowned in my brainwaves, squashed by heat.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law make civil little a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Saute, rapping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it. So the snake still showing up, stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis. Astroplane interests, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life, finishing.
Moorish or Moor, key man or oracle. Using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical. Lost and metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic. Fact slap a dirty Moor or a Drew Ali critic. Calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved. Or cut like a close shave. Drowned in my brainwaves, squashed by heat waves. Activating Kundalini. Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini. Selassie I in exile. Reptile in Genesis, niggas appearing real. All I see is false evidence. DA are feminists, stomped on by elephants. More like go prejudice, but want Moorish benefits. When you feel the pull, magnetic resonance. Apis horns of the sacred book, all maleficent. Great cosmic mothers, return to blessedness, no pestilence. Ace all the testaments. Tap into remembrance, never to forget again. Use energy right, not put spell effects on men. Wandering the earth plane with no they live shades. Keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades. It's been decades since Christian crusades. Not enough rebellions, too many vigil bouquets. Holding on to the fence, burning on doomsday. War ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?
Bet they won't. Bet they won't give it a try. Peace to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to all the Moors. Honors to all the Moors. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. What happened to painter with a felt plate who drew Ali and wearing a fez and all that stuff? Where is the Drew Ali tattoo? Show me that. Show me the Drew Ali tattoo, since you got lines calling out Drew Ali in your songs and stuff like that. If you talk about Drew Ali in your songs and all that stuff, and you're getting a Farrakhan tattoo, you getting a Farrakhan tattoo? That's who you repping? That's who you're branding yourself with, Farrakhan. These are the people you guys are repping? Remember, these are you guys people. These are pyramid up people and all that stuff, rapper guy people. And then we say, hey, you know, he said Noble Drew Ali? You hear that part? Like the Moor said in the song, Roman J. Israel. Anybody ever go watch Roman J. Israel and ask yourself, why they have Noble Drew Ali on the fridge? Why is a Denzel Washington movie have Noble Drew Ali on the fridge? This guy is getting Farrakhan tattoo. This is you guys' boy. FOI suit guys. Bow tie guys. Bow tie guys. And don't forget, these people are with the people who set up El Haj Malik El Shabazz. And y'all ride with them. Shaking my head, these sellout lovers. It's nothing mad. We're just calling out their actions that you're too blind to see. We didn't do anything. We didn't go punch anybody in the face. We didn't touch anybody. None of that. All we're showing you is people's actions. And then you make a decision what you're going to do. You make a decision what you're going to do. Because we want to know why you're going to tattoo Farrakhan on your face. What did he do for our people? What did he do? Tell me. Tell me. This for all the NOI people and all that, whoever else is out there too. I want you to tell me what Farrakhan did for our people. Because ever since he's been around, conditions have not changed. So if the conditions have not changed, more than likely, if it is a garbage pickup every Monday, and 8 Mondays pass and nobody shows up, stuff's piling up in front of your house or whatever like that, you're probably not gonna wait for another Monday. You're probably gonna figure something out. You're not gonna do the repetitive BS, right? I was talking with him more. Talking about how the background or the backdrop of what people have right now is green screen. They think this stuff is real that they're seeing. This stuff's not real. They have a green screen. They make a cliffhanger movie with green screen, and you think people are rappelling down some 1,500 foot whatever? Are you dumb? What's stunt what? Stunt what? They ain't stunt anybody left. Everything's green screen. Everything's Moana and all that stuff. Cartoon people. That's not real. That's cartoons. That's like Phil Valentine told people 20 years ago, hey, watch out for when they start putting animals in in commercials. Watch out when you start seeing animals talking in commercials. Phil Valentine L. told these people 20 years ago. 20 years ago? And the stuff's happening right now, and you think, don't forget he's an L, by the way. Right? Phil Valentine. Don't forget he's an L. For all the metaphysical people who want to play the BS. And don't forget Bobby Hemmett. You know, we know he's a Bay. And we know his teacher is C. Freeman L. and all that stuff. And we know all the metaphysical people, Panic and all these people should be talking about we're Moors. And they should have their fezzes on, black fez and all that stuff, and give these people this spiritual law. They got law and talk to ancestors and talk to damn Orishas and all that stuff. Why don't you call some of them down here to F up some of these people who's messing with our people? How about that? How come we never see the highwaymen who murdered somebody, right? Highwayman murdered somebody. How come we don't see the metaphysical whoever's put a hex on a highwayman, make his car go off a cliff or something? How come we always got to sue them and get some 2 million and all that stuff and gag order, you can't talk about it and all that stuff, and then he still has his job getting paid? He murdered somebody. Because they're just going to switch him to a different jurisdiction where you're not at. So then what? People keep getting played. Because people like Farrakhan did nothing for our people. And our people still chasing these people. It's like, just like Dick Gregory said, entertainer guy is not a leader guy. Don't tell me we're on the liberation, whatever, and then you're pointing to me to a calypso singer or something like that is gonna lead you to salvation. A reggae singer is gonna be your representative or whatever. What are you talking about? All because they don't want to mention Noble Drew Ali. All because they want to avoid Noble Drew Ali. Oh, interesting. And just remember, over here, if you're going to use the chat and you have a question, put it in all caps. Don't just type normally asking questions as if people have time to be in this chat going 500 miles an hour. Right? Letting you know. Letting you know. We all need to get together. We all would have been together if Farrakhan and Elijah Muhammad and Fard Muhammad and all them stop playing games about reincarnated Noble Drew Ali and just stuck to the program. We would all been together if Ben Amim and all them people in the Hebrew Israelite camp and all that stuff followed what the Moorish Zionist Jews were doing and stopped playing the BS about Hebrew Israelite. We're Moors. Right? We would have been had the unity already. Right? We would have had the unity if the Egyptologist people go to the hieroglyphs and they see that the high priests of Anu are Moors, M-A-U-R, and then when you look up the high priest of Anu, you're going to find out that the high priest of Anu wear fezzes. So if the high priest of Anu wear fezzes, and then the high priest of Anu is Moor, which is in the hieroglyphics, which is ancient Egyptian or whatever like that, then why are the ancient Egyptian whoever's playing games like they don't know who the Moors are? And if they want to be ancient Egyptian or whatever, no problem. Do your thing. Just tell these people who the Moors are. Stop playing games with them. And they'll also go to George G.M. James' book Stolen Legacy, where he said that the Moors are the custodians of the ancient Egyptian shit. So if the Moors are the custodians of the ancient Egyptian shit when Egypt fell, how are people still saying that they're ancient Egyptians right now? How are you an ancient Egyptian when Egypt fell thousands of years ago? What are you talking about? That stuff fell. That fell, and the Moors were the custodians of the ancient Kemetic knowledge. The Moors were the custodians of that. Not the African Dogon whoever. Not the Angkor Wat in Cambodia people who built temples and all that stuff there. Not them. The Moors were the custodians of the ancient Kemetic knowledge. And then what happened? Just like with the ancient Egyptians, Europeans going to them to go learn. Guess what happened when the Moors were around? Guess what happened? Every goddamn body was coming to check the Moors. Why? Why are they checking the Moors for? because they are the custodians of the ancient shit. You better go look up custodian if you start thinking about pushing a broom and a mop and all that stuff. When you thought custodian, you better go check yourself, because you're probably wrong, which is why you're in the conditions that you're in, because all these people that we just mentioned, all the schools of thought, nation of gods and earths and all that stuff, they got a circle 7 and a star as their flag. How they don't know about Moors and how they're not Moors, but they're using Noble Drew Ali's circle 7? How you using Noble Drew Ali's circle 7, but you're not Moors? Well, that didn't come from that. That came from, well, where'd that guy get it? Who made it? Where'd he get it from? You think Allah gave him that? Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. Everybody knows that Noble Drew Ali's the man. Everybody jacked his stuff and didn't tell you that we're Moors. Told you that we're everything else in the book. Every school of thought, we're that. When it comes to Moors, oh no, those guys put people in slavery. The Moors cut off people's hands in the Congo. The Moors taught the European who is the devil and now he's ruling over us. The Moors keep telling you use the white man's dictionary and whatever. The Moors, but they got nothing to say about it. Nothing else, they got nothing to say. Zero. Not a peep from them. Not a peep from them. And don't forget all the black Indian backstabbing whoever's, that if you go to Delaware, state law is going to tell you that the Lenape were identified on their licenses and ID and whatever else that they had with a designation of M. Why? Because Aboriginal, Indigenous, Black Indian powwow guys are Moors. And you're going to see swastikas and you're going to see metaphysical stuff that came from the Moors in Aboriginal stuff. And you say, well, hold on a second. So if the people over here are native to over here, then why is it that people from over there could come over here and meet these people and greet them and bring them spices and bring them different stuff and all that, have relation, engage in commerce, if they don't speak these people's language? They're on the other part of the planet. How they know how to talk, how they talk when they go there and, what is this? And then the other question you have to ask yourself is, how come you don't hear any stuff about North American people leaving here and they went somewhere to go do something? How come they just stayed over here? This is a big planet. These are black Indian guys, TP guys. All they did was stay in North America. But then when you research the Moors went all over the world. You're going to find Moors in Australia. You're going to find Moors in Sri Lanka. You're going to find Moors in Pakistan and all that. You're going to find Moors in Russia. You're going to find Moors, Canaanland, aka Canada. That Canada was founded by a Moor named Matthew da Costa. A Moor from over there came over here. And when he came over here, the people who were already here were talking his language. How he know how to talk the language of them people when he's from over there? How is somebody from China who speaks Chinese coming to America and American people are speaking Chinese with them and you're confused as to what's going on in the world? You don't realize that it's one landmass? You're getting caught up with oceans that turn into rivers that turn into oceans, and you get caught up. Well, it's separated. Something's separated. And then the flat earth people will tell you that you can fly from here to Africa in 2 hours. They just take the long way. Just take the long way. Think about how many hours they say you're over an ocean. Just think about it. Think about the hours that it takes you to fly over ocean. Right? Don't get played. Just wake the hell up. Let's do what we're actually here for. That was just the commercial at the beginning.
First Republic Registrar is a common law pure trust foundation established in 2013. Its purpose is to provide an international platform for all good sovereign governments, organizations, and peoples to file and record good title to the natural human body, to landed property, and to private conveyances. This is known as allodial title or sovereignty certification.
So, sovereignty, hold on a second, let's just see. Let's just check. Just check this. Just see. Sovereignty. I don't care what people's opinion is. Well, they got the music in the back with the hookah pipe going and all that stuff, and you're getting caught up. You're in the days already. You're already in the days. Because they got this far and you even look up sovereignty yet to see what these people are talking about. And if it is in harmony with what sovereignty is. Sovereignty. The possession of sovereign power. Supreme political authority. Paramount control of the Constitution and frame of government and its administration. A self-sufficient source of political power, from which all specific political powers are derived. The international independence of a state, combined with the right and power of regulating its internal affairs without foreign dictation. Also a political society or a state which is sovereign and independent. Now, they're saying that they're going to be the registrar for Moors to go to, for whoever to go to that says they're sovereign, so that there's our own registry. So that anybody can go to them and say, you know about so and so, and they say, oh yeah, those people they're good to go, they're registered. You can't do that with sovereignty. When they start telling you about 250, right? When they start telling you about 250, 120, right? Transfer of title, oh, you got a contact for that. You can't just push the button. You don't just pay a little finance and get that. Acknowledgement of record of trust, 120. Sovereignty certification, 2,500. $500, declaration of private express trust and whatever. Now, what is them charging you have to do with the definition of sovereignty that we just read? What does that have to do with sovereignty? But then when we look at what Noble Drew Ali brought, and we see that he had a flag, which is sovereignty, right? Because a flag represents a nation or a political state, right? He brought the Moors' constitution, brought the Moors titles of nobility, the free name. He brought the Moors an express trust. And the collateral of the trust, or what the beneficiaries were going to get that was in the trust, was your Moorish empire. You hear him tell you anything about 250 yet? You hear anything about 500 yet? You hear anything about send the donation and then we'll have a conversation about something? If you don't check these people to make sure that they're doing what they say that they're doing, you are going to be played. You better start studying. You better start saying stuff and oops, I mean, I know that we're not black. Oops, I meant Moors. You better start checking yourself. Because majority of what's outside of yourself at this point is Android, is GMO. You don't want to be too involved with stuff outside of yourself like that. Especially when it comes to nationality, sovereignty, and things that have to do with you getting out of the dead state that you're in. That, remember, we told you from the beginning, Farrakhan and all these people should have been told you that we're Moors. So you don't have any problems right now. The reason why you're getting murdered in the street, because you don't have a nationality. The reason why, highwaymen kick your ass, because you don't have a nationality. The reason why whatever treatment that you're getting, some people who you don't know said that the neighbor 5 doors down, 16 floors below you, heard you beat your child and they're coming in there to take children and all that stuff. That happens because you don't have a nationality. Because these people made you stay dumb nigger. You thought slavery was over because you didn't have shackles on. You didn't even penetrate that they're going to enslave your mind. That's how they're going to keep you a slave. By slave your mind, keep you a slave. To them. Connotative slave. They make you a slave to them. And then the same way that these Europeans came in this land, changed your name and made you a slave to them, same thing, your brothers and whoever, sisters and groups of whoever are doing the exact same thing to you. But, you should know better, because Drew Ali told you your own's going to sell you back in slavery. Drew Ali told you your own's going to sell you back. If you pay finance for something, right? If you pay, if you give something, there should be a return. Whatever it is. If you give somebody a drink because they look thirsty, it's expected that somebody's going to give me a drink when I'm thirsty. This stuff's not hard. This is easy. How come we're just not figuring this stuff out? How come we need people telling us about donation 500 so you can get a special deed of trust? You're not just getting a deed of trust. You're getting the special deed of trust. Oh my God, special! Because you're about to be an android. You better wake the hell up out your sleep. Stop sleeping. You better wake the hell up right now. Because if you don't, when you wake up, you're going to be an android. Some of you people are Android already. Some of you people are Android already. Like, oh yeah, and keep in mind, they're charging you in the pounds and stuff like that. So when you do the conversion, and then over here, this is worth 300. Over there, it's worth 1,800. And you don't realize somebody's playing you? Because nothing's backed by gold and silver. Everything is backed by blood, sweat, and tears. And if it's backed by blood, sweat, and tears, well, blood, sweat, and tears. Okay. It doesn't sound like you're in too good of a situation if that's what you're giving up to get something. Sounds like you're a slave. If you're giving up blood, sweat, and tears, and you're still not free? How you give up all that stuff, you're still not free? And you're not looking at stuff like something's wrong here. We gave up the blood, the sweat, and the tears, and the cotton, and the whatever else, and the children. We gave up everything. For what? Nothing? No return? And then you're cool with it? Because you paid the 500, it didn't do nothing. And then you still went back to them again to pay 1,200 after? That's called they played you. That's why you have to study, so you know. Right? Like we said, this thing is 31 seconds in. 31 seconds in. And with the true Moorish mindset, you're already looking at these people funny because you just looked up sovereignty and that's not what these people are talking about. I don't know what they're talking about, but it ain't sovereignty. They're playing a game and they're saying that it's sovereignty, but they're telling you 500 when sovereignty is allodial. They said it right there, allodial. Okay, so if it's allodial, then you can't buy it or whatever. If it's free, how can you buy it? That's like in what movie was it? When some people are at the White House. And everybody's starving. Everybody's hungry. Nobody ate. Go to the White House and guys selling, some chips, nuts, whatever like that, selling the stuff. By the end of the movie, lady somehow goes in the back and somebody puts her on game that everything's free and they've been buying stuff from this guy. They're buying stuff when everything's free. But they didn't know because they didn't fact check. They just took this guy's word for it that, yeah, we got certificate of sovereignty, allodial titles to the land and whatever. They got all that. Oh my gosh. And you start dancing because you found the Moors who are going to get you up. As soon as you see that price tag, no. No, without a shadow of a doubt. As soon as you see the price tag, that it's a game. Right? And you know that they're fakers because you can't be talking about sovereignty and not mention Noble Drew Ali. Remember, this 31 seconds in. This stuff is 8 minutes. And at 31 seconds, we have some serious questions. Where's Noble Drew Ali at? Because remember, these are the Tamaray people. Tamaray, that's the ancient Egyptian, right? And then the ancient Egyptian, they fell. And the Moors are the custodians of the ancient Egyptians. So why are they calling themselves some Tamaray or whatever? What house of Tamaray are you talking about? That's why Dick Gregory again told these people, why are you guys going to go visit some dusty ass pyramids? Why are you going over there? They got pyramids over here. We're going to see dusty pyramids or whatever. When you go there, garbage everywhere and all that, and they don't even keep the stuff proper like they should. You know what that place was when we ruled there? You know what that place was when we ruled there? I bet you there was no dusty ass pyramids there. I bet you could see those things from across the planet, the way that stuff be beaming out. You think the sun hits that and that's not having an effect on the planet? And then we didn't only do it there. We also did it in China and Mexico and Antarctica and all that. You obviously weren't told. Somebody played you. Because they can't be talking about their Tamaray whatever. When Kemet fell, Egypt fell. Egypt fell. And when Egypt fell, the Moors became the custodians of the ancient Kemetic mystery system. Everybody knows about the mystery system. You ask any of the conscious whoever's, hey, what's the mystery system? Oh yeah, the ancient Egypt. Everybody knows. So if they're ancient Egypt, whoever, and then Noble Drew Ali was known as Professor Drew the Egyptian Adept, how dare they not mention Noble Drew Ali? How dare these people mention sovereignty? How dare these people mention allodial titles and land and conveyance and traveling and natural human body and sovereignty without mentioning Noble Drew Ali? These people are traitors. No different than the traitors who tattoo Farrakhan on their face. But they're the painter with the felt pen that drew Ali and they got fezzes and all that stuff, but they got Farrakhan tattoo on their face. Like that's cool or something. Everyone say, oh, that's cool. And don't think if you had Noble Drew Ali tattoo on your face, you're cool either. You're not cool. You're a dumbass. But if dumbass has finance, then yeah, they could be a dumbass. They're not concerned about getting a job in 20 years. They're not worried about that. They're going to get a job. They're going to get their little connections, whatever that they got. Because they're already in. They're already in there. You go to Kardashians and all that. What are you talking about? People been in. We're showing you, them letting you know, in these little songs and stuff like that, and wearing fezzes and all that. Just so you can see that they know. You know what I'm saying? They're Moors or nothing like that. You don't know. Especially if you got Farrakhan tattooed on your face, you're definitely not no more. Proclaimed, you might be more in spirit. I don't know, proclaimed more. Like you're living your life as a Moor. You're a Farrakhan guy. And we already know Farrakhan set the climate to get El Hajj Malik El Shabazz murdered. And he was bold enough to say it to his daughter's face. That's how traitor he is. Traitor like that. To your face, they'll tell you that they sold out. Why? Because they know you're not going to do anything. What are you going to do? You're a punk. You don't got nationality. You're stateless. So you're a punk. And everybody in the world is going to come here punk you. Take your stuff. Then you're just taking it. Crying racism. Crying prejudice. Crying discrimination. Crying, never getting anything. And then crying because you're not getting anything. And you don't realize because you don't have a nationality. And then plane blows up, kills all these Indian people, and all of them got 5 million. Everybody on the plane and their family got 5 million. But so how come they're getting 5 million? Oh, because they're a nation. And if you mess with them, you mess with the nation. So you have to pay the nation. That's just how it is. It's under debate. Right? just like the dude went to wherever, like, licking his fingers like, it's some good chicken. Oh, where you guys get this chicken? Chef just look at him like, meow, meow. Because you assumed the jurisdiction. You assumed this was chicken nuggets. You assumed. I think it was a meme somebody said that. I think it's a meme somebody said the freaking I think it's Kentucky. The freaking chicken nuggets look like erasers. Breaded erasers. Just go look it up. Look up the chicken nuggets. If it's that bad, if Kentucky is giving you breaded erasers to eat, if that's what your options are, you're in trouble. And you're only in trouble because you set yourself up. Because you were the one, when they had their bucket and stuff like that, you got them hyped. You got them excited. You wanted to go to we remember working in McDonald's. The McDonald's with the play pit. Where everybody at McDonald's knows, don't go in the play pit. Because they don't clean those. They're not pulling the balls out every night and all that stuff, wash the balls off and whatever. They're not doing that. Pull them balls out, see them balls at the bottom? They got everything that slid down to nastiest thing ever. Children up in this stuff. But they've been playing you. As soon as you don't hear them mention Noble Drew Ali, as soon as you hear them talk big that they have the whatever they say that they have, right? Whatever they say that they have. And they're not mentioning Noble Drew Ali. And if you ask them, hey, so what about Noble Drew Ali? Oh yeah, he was said that we're Moors, and that was 1920s, you know what I mean? And this is the new time now and all that. We also have to we also have to go back. We also have to go back to about 9 seconds. So 9 seconds of this thing. Because what we didn't do was look up republic. Republic, a commonwealth. And then as an underline in the blue, what's that mean? There's an underline in the blue on computer, what's that mean? You better go down the rabbit hole, right? Because they tell you semicolon after commonwealth. So you shouldn't be going anywhere until you push the thing. You want to know why you don't know what's going on. What is commonwealth? The public or common weal or welfare. This cannot be regarded as a technical term of public law, though often used in political science. It generally designates, when so employed, a republican frame of government. Now, if Kemet fell, how could Tamaray have a first republic of something if their stuff fell? If ancient Egypt fell, why are Tamarayans telling you about first republics when they don't even count? They're a fiction. Noble Ali said, Moor Science Temple of America, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, and then showed you where and how this thing was established for us to be able to be saying Moor Science Temple of America 2022. Like, this shows you that something was done to create what it is that they're presenting to you. If Drew Ali did that in the 20s, how is somebody 100 years later pretending like they did something? Because the other part they're not going to tell you is that Republican form of government and all that stuff don't got nothing to you. The United States Constitution isn't yours because your ancestors had a part in it. That doesn't mean it's yours. Because when you check, you realize that the people who were here were self-governing. And they had their own laws. They had their own customs and their own rules. They had their own. If they had their own, that's not a Republican form of government. If that's not theirs, they can't claim it. Just like the one who blocked me from earlier that we had on the story about people authenticate birth certificates and all that. And they're oh yeah, this is a perfect one too. Since we're talking about birth certificates and all that. Since we're talking about birth certificates, I'll show you how they play you. Where is it? I'll show you how they play you. This is how they played, right? Peace to Brother Kush. You didn't put this one out. Word magic. It's not a play. Right? The legal name and commerce. In commerce, when you see a name written in all capital letters, it is a corporate name or a legal name. The legal name plays a significant role in your life because it is used by the government as a conduit or a liaison so it can do business with you, the living man. That's a lie. Since they're talking about word magic. They're word magic in you right now. And you think you're getting something. They're not giving you nothing. They're playing you. Because what the government are they talking about? U.S. Corporation? That's not government. Canada? That's not government. That's not Commonwealth. That's not what those are. That's not Republican forms of government. That's not what that is. That's not government of anybody. But then how come they're calling them government? Because it's word magic. And certain people have a misconcept of what they're talking about because they're not in that realm. Right? Pao Chang has a nationality. He's not a yellow guy. He's not a yellow guy's book. Chang, that's a nationality. Right? He's not nigger. He has a nationality. But he's talking from what he heard. He's not talking from knowing. He doesn't know that U.S. and Canada are corpses. They can't be governments. They are not governments. As soon as you call them government, you just gave them jurisdiction over you and now you're a ward. Because you call them government when they're a corpse. Right? This is why whenever the government, again, word magic on you, that's not government. The bank or any corporation sends you a document with your legal name on it. 99% of the time it is written in all capital letters. This process allows the government, right, which that's not what it is, to legally claim you as a corporate entity. Involves the creation of a fictional character and tricking you to consent to be that fictional character, which is the artificial person associated with your legal name. This legal name was created shortly after you were born and was recorded on a bond. This bond that represents the date of your artificial person's birth is publicly known as your birth certificate. No, it's not. That's not mine. Why is that mine? Well, your name's on it. Yeah, well, I didn't create it. What do you mean? What do you mean it's mine? Okay, my name's on it, but how'd it get there? I didn't put it on there. Well, my mom put it on there. Well, why would my mom put that on there? Why would she do that unless, because isn't that done after something happens? The birth of a child and stressful mind and not rested and 12 hours of labor and you're talking about signing some papers? Why wouldn't someone sign? Well, then isn't that criminal? Shouldn't they give them 5 months or something like that? Get better. You just had C-section or something like that. Make you heal first before you start pushing stuff in your face so you can get some card so your child could be counted as whatever. Well, whatever she did, mom, and signed something, and dad signed something, grandparents signed something, and now you have this thing, and then you're saying that's you. You just lied. And then if somebody else says that that's you, they're lying to you. And right now people are lying to you. Even though it's a good book, you know what I mean? Word magic, make sure you go pick it up or whatever. But just some stuff has to get fact checked. because it's not true. There's no your birth certificate. But the reason why we're bringing that up is to show you this is why the people are saying authenticate the birth certificate, because they're under the assumption that because their legal name is on it, it's theirs, when it's not theirs. They never created it. They're not the creator of the bond. So you can't claim it. Why you claim something you're not creating? Are you going and grabbing people's children and talking about, this is yours? This is my child. Huh? What do you mean? Well, it's mine because I'm claiming it. Did that child come from your womb? No. But my mom, stop the BS. It's not yours. It's theirs. And because it's theirs, it has nothing to do with you. The only way it has to do with you is when you agree to call it yours. You say yours, no take backs. You gotta hold it now. You gotta hold it. Because you claim the fiction. So then you go do this authenticate birth certificate, whatever. Or you go buy this package. Or you go spend this finance. And they're telling you about get the birth certificate and do something with it. They're absolutely playing you. Absolutely. And it's not like they're ignorant of what's really going on. They're well aware of what's going on. Right? They're well aware of what's going on. They're playing games with you. Oh, we should do this one. See if I find this thing. See if I find this thing. Should be. See if it's in here still. Yeah.
Expressed in the Constitution of Jamaica, and there's no rights for us expressed in the Constitution of Jamaica, and we would not have been considered Jamaican citizens. Of course, the judge is within their right legally to say that this doesn't exist here because they're not interpreting the law of Jamaica, because that was the...
So, how come he's ambassador, plenipotentiary, state of cockpit country, Anu Tafari Zion L, but he's a Maroon, he's not a Moor? What do you mean he's Anu Tafari Zion L, but he's not a Moor, he's a Maroon? How are you an L, but you're not Canaanite? You're an L, but you're not Canaanite? How? L comes from ancient Canaanites. Canaanite god El. But they're not Canaanites. They're not Moors. They're Maroons. But they got that L on there though. And they're talking about some treaty with some British and all this BS. Why are you talking about British stuff? Why is that even in the conversation? Why don't you claim it as the Moroccan Empire since you're L? Why don't you claim it as the Moroccan Empire and send these people home? If you can get interview and stuff like that, then
you should be, we would think that you would go with where Noble Drew Ali took this. Then you start talking about the Tafari, Zion, and all that stuff. You're playing some Rasta BS. Because we know that's a fiction too. That Haile Selassie has a golden fez on. And he had nationality. He wasn't dumb nigger. He was an African king guy. He was empire. Ethiopia wasn't an empire in 1930. How is he emperor? What do you think he's the emperor of? You think he's the emperor of some Ethiopia? When that's not an empire? Abyssinia, that's not an empire. I think he had the golden fez on. Haile Selassie had the golden fez. What are they talking about, Rasta? What are they talking about? I know he met JFK. And then after he met JFK, JFK was dead. I know that. I know he was going to help JFK with the gold standard. I know he was going to back you, Dades. I know that. But as far as anybody from the 1920s and their connection to Noble Drew Ali, good luck with that. Good luck with that. So they don't want you to know about him. They let you know about all these other Negroes out here, but Noble Drew Ali, oh no. You cannot know about him. No knowing about Noble Drew Ali. But you know, the cockpit country guys and all that stuff. Right? Right, the cockpit guys. What are the cockpit guys? Why? Why are you gonna not say state of the Moroccan Empire to talk about cockpits? Really? And then you have L on top of that? Really? This is the game that you people are playing? This is the game you guys are playing. Just like Farrakhan tattoo face boy. You know, wear fezzes and all that stuff. Yeah. Kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. Just interesting. How they're not going to mention Drew Ali with their L's and all that. And they got a state and their ambassadors, plenipotentiary and all that stuff, but they're not Moors? Yeah, L, but they're not Moors? They're cockpit guys? I want fire, and then you're a cockpit guy? Never stop saying, we need to find a new name for this spot. We can't keep calling this spot cockpit. We can't. You just change up this energy. Something's wrong with this energy. Just like with the mother that we put up today. Well, if Percocets make you horny, how come you take them with your boys? Why are you taking Percocets with your boys when Percocets turn you on? You guys weirdos, or we're just trying to, really get what's going on here. Why you're gonna be, cockpitting and all that stuff when you could be Moroccan Empire. But then you're saying you're L and all that, which would mean that, well, obviously you're Moroccan Empire if you're L, but it's confused. It's confused. It's a little confused. Like, I'm just confused because people like to mention, what about Taj? Well, Taj Tariq Bey, whatever. No, we don't follow him. So, I don't know why you even bringing him up in anything, because we ain't even bring up. We want to know about Praise to the King Ministries. And how come certain stuff is registered as a church, but they're talking about reawakening somebody or whatever? But yeah, churches don't reawaken in jack. When you go on there, all you're seeing is no turban, no fez Moors on there. Like, where are these people's national pride? No national pride? No national pride? Well, hey, as Noble Drew Ali said, some of his best Moors are in the church, so, it's really prophecy. What do you say? What Drew Ali say? The Christian ministers. The Christian ministers will be the last ones to come in. Europeans will be beating them in the head to come to the temple. They're going to get beaten in the head. Right? Apostle, senior pastors got more Avengers up there, and you're playing around. And then we're showing you that he's sick and tired of your BS because you don't study. You've been talking about the same stuff for 30 years because you don't study. You don't take notes. You want to play around like, this is some club social or whatever. This is not club social or anything. This is study. This is research. This is figure it out. This isn't, we call that guy because he's the master blaster of the temple of blasting. So we're going to go to him. No, you better figure this stuff out. Because places out here saying they're Moorish, whatever like that, but they're registered as a church still. Why are they registered as a church? Why are Moorish Science Temples registered as a church? Why? Why are you registered as a church? Oh yeah, for the prophecy of Noble Drew Ali, because some of the best Moors are still in the church. Right? I got you. Got it. Got it. Message.
Is to provide an international platform for all good sovereign governments, organizations, and peoples to file and record good title to the natural human body, to landed property, and to private conveyances. This is known as allodial title or sovereignty certification. The voice you are listening to is that of an ordained and certified sovereign man, known commercially as Paul Anthony Simons, and known spiritually as Nabu Ka Ma'at, meaning golden ray of justice, liberation and balance, a name and title which exemplifies my law, nature and purpose whilst on earth plane. Both my commercial and spiritual acumen as well as my qualification by natural process has earned me the position of proto-notary, notaries public, and certified sovereign underwriter. I'm also a self-published author of more than 12 books covering subjects such as spirituality.
Now, is it type of self-published and stuff like that? When they start talking about they're the golden ray of this and that, don't get played. Don't get played. Because the only authority is Noble Drew Ali. If you're talking sovereign grand commander, if you're talking plenipotentiary, if you're talking president, if you're talking prime minister, the only authority is Noble Drew Ali. Well, he's not here no more. And what's your point? What's your point? He also told you he was the Egyptian adept. What are you missing? That's why Drew Ali said, be yourself, so you're not a slave to somebody else selling you some BS. Or buy sovereignty. They're a notary, so you can... Notary for what? Why would you want to be a notary public? Like, why would you want to be that? Might just be a grand sheik, divine minister, grand governor, grand secretary. You can seal documents. Like, what's the problem? Why are you going to be some stuff that they are playing with? You want to be your own stuff if you're sovereign. You're sovereign, but I'm going to call myself what these modern Europeans say is the authority for something. I thought you were sovereign. I thought you were self-governing. That's why they don't want to bring up. That's why they don't want to bring up Drew Ali. Because if they bring up Drew Ali, you'll realize the authority and realize that everybody played you. Right? The Holy Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, said, the garment that I have on represents power. And if you obey my voice, you will have power with me. The Holy Prophet said, I am going to free you, though it's hard because of your mixture, which brings about many different spirits. When you fail to hear my voice, you are lost. It is against the law to stand up in any audience intoxicated. The leader is not to stay out all night, giving earnings away to someone else. You who are heads of temples, it is easy for you to destroy the influence of the temple. Now lace up your shoes and get right. The Holy Prophet said, you stop figuring out your way, how your salvation shall come. Just follow me. You can say one thing, Moors. You have made a start for the kingdom. If you want success, you must follow the Prophet. Husbands, take care of your wives and families. Wives, keep your homes and children clean. You hear about any obeying the man? Obey, you got to obey him and all that stuff. You hear any of that? There's none of that, right? It's none of that. It's real easy. Husbands, take care of your wives and families. Husband, just do that. You don't want to do anything else. You don't got time to focus on anything else if you're taking care of your wives and your families. And wives, keep your homes and children clean. If he does that and she does that, everything should run smooth. Shouldn't be no issues. The Holy Prophet said, I have done more than you think. I want you to help me by your good deeds of living at home and abroad. It is through your good, not with your lips, trying to be in the front seat in everything, always standing in my face. The Holy Prophet said, Moors, be careful of your steps. Leaders of temples must be careful how they walk. They must be an example. I am not asleep. It would take you Moors a long time to find out what I did today. When you all go home, don't start no stuff, for I will be right there listening to you. The Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali also said, this is no social organization. It is a divine and national movement. By you being born here doesn't make you a citizen. Now look what I have on. Now this was handed to me by the government. It represents the royal prince. Then a prince is a sovereign. And then you being proclaimed Moors and part of this nation, you're a beneficiary of that sovereignty. Because you didn't know and you weren't told by all your nigger leaders that you're not Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian. You're descendants of Moors. The ancient Canaanites and Moabites and all of them. Who you never thought you were. You thought you came over here by some Europeans. And don't even know that you're in your own vast estate, the Moroccan Empire. And the world has played you out of your stuff. Because you want to play Negro black games, tattoo Farrakhan on your face. As if that's cool. We're not talking about Mike Tyson and Tech and them people. We're not talking about the tribes in wherever they got face tattoo and whatever like that. We're not talking about them. We're talking about put another man who's alive name on your face. As if you just did something. Everything has to go online and all that with these people. Not even plug in a tattoo artist or whatever. Just showing that they got Farrakhan tattoo on their face. These are your leaders. Don't forget, Dick Gregory said, don't let these entertainer guys be your leader. Just remember. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Stop getting played by these people. Because these people that we showed you just now, these guys, the First Republic Registrar people, they just hit somebody up for $4,000, which is why we're talking about this. Selling sovereignty certificates. Grands, plural. Like they just hit people up for $4,000. It just happened last week. And these are Moors from here that were in our temple that left because they don't want to do stuff with Noble Drew Ali and all that. They want to do their own thing, have sovereignty certificates, sell packages for $4,000. Right now, 2022, pandemic, people paying $4,000 for papers. They could pay $4,000 and get and get some stuff. They can get some stuff so they can go work. Don't have to worry about lining up. Pay $4,000 for that. Nah. They pay $4,000 for some papers to make them sovereign. And again, it's because they don't study. We're not against the packet selling people. Do their thing. They're traders. Trader's gonna be a trader. Sellout's gonna be a sellout. No big deal. They pick their position. It's the dummies who fall for it that we're talking about. Right? So don't be these people's crash test dummy. Have them trying out selling packages on you, selling consultations, selling consultations on you. Don't fall for it. They're playing you. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Just find them and get them up here. Just get them up here. Get it shine. Honors to the mastermind, Noble Drew Ali, who brought us everything it takes to save a nation. Told us, take it and save ourselves, because your own, wearing turbans and fezzes, are going to put you right back into slavery. So you better study, study, study. And when you studied, and you're looking around for some more stuff to study, and you read every book on the shelf, look within and study yourself. You're going to find out some whole other stuff that you... So honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to all Moors who know that they're Moors. Honors to all Moors who know that they're Moors. They know about their nationality and birthrights. They know that they're Bey, Dey, El, Al, or Ali. They know Noble Drew Ali is the prophet. They know he's the man. They know he brought us everything that it takes to save ourselves. And we're using it and saving ourselves and saving our children. Honors to you. Honors to all the waters and the fires and the earths and the airs. Honors. Honors to all the mothers. Teach this to your children so they can at least know before we knew. Right? Because majority of us, we found out this we're adult. We should have this stuff coming out the womb. So if you're parents, give this info to your children too. Don't be shy. Because they already know, they know how to use the iPad and all that stuff, going in there, buying stuff on your stuff. He's 2 years old. You know, they're telling you, well, we're going to go to the store and the video game. Right? So they're eons ahead of where we are, but they don't got the right stuff. So make sure you give them the right stuff so their eons has some weight. You know? Instead of them, you know, thinking about going some whatever to go play, they put mind to paper and set their future up with a vision board at 6. They have to look at that vision board every day of what they want for their future. And set them up properly. Get the little pan. Put the 25 in there every week. That's theirs. You're not gonna go take it and go buy hair and all that stuff. Stop the BS. Let them have a jump start. Let them have 50 grand. They just got 50 grand. They just got $1 million. Just so they can start. a little better than we started. Because remember, the enemies looking to murder your children's children's children. They have the plan to murder them already. Just keep that in mind. The enemy has the plan to murder your children's children's children. What are you planning to do? Peace and love to all the Moors. Islam to all Moors worldwide. Honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Islam.